Number of views times the revenue that you get. Okay, per view. Fantastic. So it takes into account, and this is why this is important, because we thought views, and that was the only metric we had, but we had to have something to counter it, because otherwise then you get views for view's sake. But we needed a quality metric with a quantity metric, which, by the way, paired metrics, if you're ever tracking something for a department, having like number of tickets resolved with rating against the resolution of how well those customer service reps resolve, paired metrics allow you to get to the best or most effective throughput for any department. And I just didn't know enough about media to find out what our paired metric was. And this happens to be a single metric that pairs both. And so it takes account the quality of the audience, which for me was business owners who have amongst the highest spending power. And so RPMs are the highest. Now, so for me, if the RPMs go up, it means I'm getting more of the quality people that I want. And so this gave me and my team something that we could shoot for that balanced making videos for the right people who wanted to watch. So I mean, ideally, we absolutely want to crank views with the right people. And that's what that was able to track for us. And looking backwards, the month with the highest RPMs and ad revenue also created the most book sales, the most opt-ins, and the most business applications. And this had nothing to do with how many views we got. In fact, we did kind of an experiment lately where we did 90 days of almost no business stuff. We just did more edutainment and entertainment style content, and our views went through the roof, like way up, 2-3x what we're accustomed to. But even with the increase in views, our ad revenue dropped by half. So we're actually getting the wrong people. And I share this with you so you don't have to. And so the nice thing about this from a team perspective, for those of you who do have larger teams and want to translate this over, is that my team now has real-time access to this. So they can see every single piece of content and the ad revenue that it generates. And they can quickly generate baselines in their mind of what's good and what's bad on an objective metric that really is good and bad, rather than just like, hey, this video cranked. Yeah, but it didn't bring any of the right people. We got this thing that had 10 million views, okay, but it drove nothing. Versus we had this video that had, whatever, 100,000 views, and it made more ad revenue than the one that had 10 million. And we saw the corresponding increase in the metrics that matter to us. And so that's why we switched from views being the metric that we're optimizing for to ad revenue, because it's a leading performance indicator. It happens almost in real time rather than something that happens in arrears, to give a fancy word, later. So that's number 4 in terms of the things that we're doubling down on. So let's talk about the 5th one, shorts to longs. All right, this is yet again another big one that's going to ruffle some feathers. So for a long time, the prevailing idea in content marketing was, again, a funnel. It's like everything's a funnel, all right? And it was believed that shorts viewers got more people to then watch longs, and then those long viewers would then translate into becoming customers, right? So people watch shorts, and then they watch longs, and they give you money, right? That was kind of the prevailing thought. But again, when we looked at the data, it looked more like this. Shorts viewers watch more shorts, and long viewers watch more longs, and customers buy more. And so the point is that these are different audiences, and I will make a note here that this can change by platform. So I might be a long viewer on one platform and a shorts viewer on another. And where I do think the magic happens is where you can have shorts in one thing, and so someone finds you on TikTok, but then they are a longs viewer on YouTube, and then they watch your longs there. So I do think there's an element there, but not the way the narrative goes. And so for us, longs drive a lot more conversions than shorts. Conversions being book sales, opt-ins, applications, all right? And business-related content, unsurprisingly, brings more business owners than not business-related content. And so we are going to double down on more longs about that stuff and change our short strategy to keep the volume the same but focus more on business overall. And again, people watch differently on different platforms. So making shorts in order for people to, on a different platform, watch long still carries as far as we know. So despite the mega obsession with shorts that has kind of prevailed for the last few years because it was a new format of content, we're putting now more emphasis on longs overall. For now, as far as we have data. So that's number 5. Now let's talk about the 6th one that I'm going all in on. Assume more to assume nothing. All right, so what does this mean? So let's start with assume more and what that really means broken down. So assume more means I made content assuming people already knew me. Okay? So here's an example. The Alex Hormozi Guide to Haters. I might be like, if I don't know who Alex Hormozi is, or have never seen that face before, why do I care? If I see the day in the life of Alex Hormozi, yet again, I assume everyone knows me in this. I'm sharing these mistakes with you, as far as I'm concerned, for getting new people into my world. It wasn't made, I assumed, like everybody's gonna know me. The Alex Hormozi diet, everyone knows me. No, they're like, who is this guy? Right, and here's why this matters. If you want your content to bring people who don't know you, which is why many of you guys make content, then you can't assume they do. And so this is what this looks like tactically. From a headlines perspective, if I were to remake these today, I might try a first crack at business influencer crushes haters and shows how you can too. Okay, so now if I'm clicking, I would understand at least that this guy is a business influencer of some sort and he crushes haters. Okay, well, I might want to see haters get crushed. Day in the life of $200 million per year CEO. Okay, now the jet tells me that this Alex Hormozi from the first one before, Alex Hormozi is maybe rich or maybe he can afford a private jet, but now I know he's a CEO because I could be a rapper. I could be, more realistically, when I walk around the places that I live, all the people that in my community assume that I'm a football player. It's the number one thing. I was like, so you play football? Are you on the hockey team? And I say, no, nope, nothing wrong with that, but no, that's not what I do. And then the third one there, Alex Hormozi diet, 16-hour workday, six-pack diet for business owners, whatever. The point is that we actually make it welcoming to everyone. And so here's how we do this tactically within the content itself. So we go from they know me to introducing yourself every time. So earlier I was like, I'm Alex Hormozi, this is what I do, this is the subscribers I've gotten, whatever. We introduce ourselves. 2, they know why they should listen to me. Tell people why they should listen to you every time. 3, the inside jokes. You know how I get. No, I don't know how you get. Please fully explain the reference because that references another piece of content that I haven't seen because this is the first video I've seen from you. And if you tell an inside joke and someone doesn't understand the inside joke, guess where they are? On the outside. And guess where people don't want to be? On the outside. And guess where people spend money? On the inside. And number 4, going from acting like you're already friends to pretending everything goes to people who have no idea who you are. And when you make content so people who don't know you can enjoy it, more do. And for those of you who are worried, because I can already hear the thoughts that are coming up, so let me just address those right now. I see you. I'm going to lose retention if I introduce myself. Okay, well, let's play the equal opposite. Would you rather fewer people know who you are or more people who have no clue? Because on one hand, we have some people who know you, and on the other hand, we have lots of people who also don't know you. So you're in the exact same position you were before. 2, well, aren't people going to get sick of this? You're going to keep saying your name every time or keep introducing yourself? Well, from what I can tell, warm people like the reminders, and cold people need the introduction. And as a total side note, this is a fun little experiment for everyone here. You can run this when you leave here. Who here actually has posted content in the last year? Okay, good, okay. Good. For a second, I was like, this would have been really bad if no one had raised their hand. Fantastic. Okay. I want you to look at last year, and I want you to look at your number one piece of content. And this is what I want you to do. Just post it again. And then let me know how it does. And I will bet you that it does just as well or better than the stuff that you're posting right now. And let me tell you one reason why I believe that to be true. Because if you have been posting consistently, guess what's also happened? More people have entered your audience. And guess what they haven't seen? That amazing piece of content that everyone from last year said was the number one best thing you ever made. And you know what you said?